Welcome. It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
LESNIK opened his mouth in surprise when he saw his dog Brode, and after a while happened. Late-night talk show host Sid Meier's recently squeezed a bit of news from Cincinnati into his show's opening monologue. He reported in the sound of a newscaster. Recently, the Cincinnati Zoo brought in a dog to care for 3 tiger cubs that their mother had ignored. Visitors replied, "I don't see a dog." Mayers leaned forward after a long pause of laughter, pretended to call for the dog and couldn't keep himself from giggling through the punchline. "I'm just seeing 3 fat tiger cubs." Half that joke really is true. Blackley, a 6-year-old Australian shepherd, looked after the 3 Malayan tiger cubs in the zoo since caretakers determined that their mother, 3-year-old Santa, was unable to parent them effectively in their earliest and most vulnerable weeks of life. But in the event you held your breath, he's in no danger of becoming a snack for his new strippy charges. Blackley sat down. Strasser, head nursery keeper, is bomb-proof, and this is not his first time to raise an unusual litter. Historical accounts of feral children, real-life Mowglis whom wolves or primates adopt as hairless, flat-toothed members of their own social group, often unravel true stories of extreme social maladjustment as the child attempts to reintegrate into human society. An animal may be able to teach a child how to feed itself and keep it warm in the cold, but it cannot teach her how to speak, shake hands, or interpret the body language of other humans. The only way a person can learn to be a human being is through interacting with others. It goes in both ways, Strasser said, although she and her fellow keepers ensure that babies in zoos who are too sick or neglected to be raised by their parents are warm, fed, and physically healthy. Teaching them how to behave around other animals is far more difficult for a human being. If, without proper social education, a young animal is introduced to other members of its species, the situation can turn tense, emotionally traumatic, and even violent. Strasser learned this year ago firsthand. "We raised a cat, and he was alone. I think he ended up killing it when he got introduced to another cat, because he didn't understand how rough it was to rough," she said. "He had no idea what to do. I said, I can't live with him myself thinking that we can do better than this." Join Blackley, then a pup which is 7 months old. When she first visited him, Strasser knew that she was looking for a special kind of animal to become the resident nanny of the nursery. One with the patience to endure the nips and noises of spending time around an exotic baby animal, the obedience to act as a go-between for keepers, and the temperaments to assume a parental role without becoming neurotic over time. He came up to me wagging his tail, and then I began to comb him, brush him, talk to him. Strasser said of their first meeting, her goal was to behave like a bratty 3-year-old and find a dog that wasn't going to be shaken by it. Blackley has passed that test. It was just like, whatever, he couldn't be less concerned. That year, he came to the zoo and raised his first adopted pup named Savannah, a cheetah cub. After Savannah passed on with Max, another puppy playmate, Blackley has been the foster parent of a bat-eared cat, wallabies, a warthog, more cheetahs, and most recently a taken called Dale. Blackley raised Dale and accompanied the baby taken to meet his mother, Sally, for the first time. Strasser said that with a familiar furry presence nearby, Dale found it easier to approach his new environment and meet the strange animal at the time. Today, mother and baby are happily on display together. Instead of having a completely dramatic presentation, Dale did just what he ought to have done, said Strasser. We didn't have this long, drawn out. Would they hurt one another? Do they like one another? The only child in the bunch with problem? A fucking skunk. Skunk was a jerk man, nursing caretaker Michelle Cutchell said. Blackley has spent a number on him. For zoo babies like Dale and his new charges, Malay and Tiger triplets, Batari, Chira, and Lizzie Easy. Blackley serves as a range of purposes, is a fuzzy jungle gym, a warm body to cuddle against, and a friend to play with. But the most important position he plays is a hands-on etiquette coach. He teaches the cubs what only a human zookeeper can do. You can say no, but that's not something a tiger understands. Cutchell said. They understand the back of his ears. They don't speak English. I don't speak yet, added Strasser. He can understand English and speak animal. He knows the right animal signs. He's my interpreter. If the cubs were raised exclusively by keepers, Strasser said, they'd be three little brats who don't know anything. Although there's still a gulf between proper dog behavior and proper tiger behavior, Blackley and the cubs speak enough of an instinctive common language that interaction teaches them the basics. How hard of a play bite is too hard. How flattened ears and growling are a warning sign, and when it's not appropriate to bring the clothes to a wrestling session. He is less prim than an instructor in human etiquette, but no less successful. He will lie on top of them when they misbehave, and he will knock them over. He will sit on them, said Strasser. He's keeping them there, and he's been working out well. For Batari, Chara, and Izzy, who are only a few hundred members of their critically endangered species, keeping proper is particularly necessary. The zoo plans to put both of them in a breeding pair when they are old enough to have their own cubs, and Blackley's social education is inoculating them against what will otherwise be a highly uncomfortable first date. Strasser said with his help, they should be able to correctly greet their future mates and bond with their own cubs, contributing to the Malay and Tiger's future survival as a species. Blackley will have a new batch of babies to take care of when the triplets move on, but the zoo isn't sure which animals will be his next adopters. Meanwhile, he'll be enjoying his favorite activities, hikes, naps, and being the object of attention, and teaching the tigers how to know their ways. Strasser said he is spoiled, but he works hard enough to deserve it.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.